Hello there. According to the Immigration Minister, Brandon Lewis, the continued jurisdiction of the ECJ over the UK is part of the Brexit negotiations. Despite Theresa May earlier saying the ECJ rule over the UK post-Brexit was a non-starter and a red line matter, it looks like she and her cabinet have decided that the ECJ might after all be given powers over guaranteeing the rights of EU nationals living in the UK after Brexit Day. This, says the Telegraph, is likely to spark alarm amongst Eurosceptic MPs who view ending the court's influence as an essential part of Brexit. Even though Downing Street has said that ECJ jurisdiction will cease after the transition period, I'd go further and say this will spark total outrage across the UK. It has been made plain time and again that you cannot run a country on two legal systems, with one law applying to some and another to others, even for a transition period. Going forward after Brexit Day, there must be one legal system that covers the activity of everyone living in the UK and treats everyone equally, fairly and justly. Giving some people different rights and allowing foreign courts to decide what happens to some people here does not do this. This makes absolutely no sense at all, and as far as I'm concerned, it is just the Remainers in the government system doing their utmost at every level to stir the pot and make sure that, in some fashion or other, the EU and its court, the ECJ, rules the UK. They are determined to keep the door as wide open and for as long as possible to allow the tentacles of the EU to find their way back to the levers of power. And we also learn that, although unconfirmed at this stage, this benighted cabinet has agreed to up the offer of UK tax money to the EU by doubling the €20 billion offered during her Florence speech to €40 billion, about £36 billion. Leave.eu founder Aaron Banks said, "Theresa the Appeaser has once again shown she is far from up to the task of leading Britain out of the European Union. The increased offer of €40 billion is an absolute disgrace. Our campaign has been inundated with complaints from members of the British public who are rightly asking why our government is happy to offer such a huge sum to Brussels when we need to be investing more here in our public services. Why we are even contemplating paying a penny to leave a club we run a £70 billion trade deficit with baffles me." But even this €40 billion is not enough for those Brussels Eurocrats, with one EU diplomat saying, "This £36 billion could make sense only if it's a first step with an openness to discuss further financial commitments. It could be enough to say, OK, we are ready to move to phase 2, but only if it's not the final figure. For some countries it could be enough, but I don't see France or Italy agreeing." And the reference to France is important, because with the collapse of coalition government talks in Germany, many people think that France will be in the driving seat going forward. Another source quoted in the Express said, "There's no real deadline. Mrs May theoretically could also stand up during the European Council and announce something big that allows everybody to move forward. We would have to work harder to quickly write the new mandate for Barnier, but politically all is possible if it means moving ahead." I am now getting the distinctly uncomfortable feeling that everyone is beginning to understand how powerful the position of the UK really is in all of this, but those supposedly on the UK side seem more intent on keeping the EU safe than they are of looking after the true interests of the UK. Without our cash, the EU cannot keep going as it is, or in the direction it wants to go as fast as it wants. But that's life, and it's not our job to pour in good money after bad. In fact, the EU is reliant on our money just to stay solvent for the remaining time to the end of this budget period. and during this time bureaucrats should be cutting their cloth to match the money, but instead they expect the UK to keep them in clover. There is also another point that many people haven't hoisted in. The EU has made it quite clear that after Brexit we are a competitor and they will be looking to take our business wherever they can. So why are we so intent on giving them a helping hand to do just that by funding their ambitions? What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.